Dear Mr. President, I have a few issues that I need to share with you. And no, you are not the cause of these issues, but you are the leader of this country. So this is addressed to you. Now, since I work with kids, let me break this down in ABCs. I'm going to take you through our frustration and I'm going to list them A through Z. Gunned down by good old boys who represent your ideology. You know, see a black man that's suspicious, shoot first, ask questions later. You know how you thought back in the 80s with them 5 black boys. It's 30 years from then and they still doing you a favor. And let's not forget a king gunned down by officers with an intent to kill. They threatened this man's life if he moved an inch of his body outside of their own will. Now, this officer should have never been allowed in a uniform. But hey, you got the highest seat in office, so I guess this is what we have to consider the new norm. Gunned down by cops as this young queen slept in her bed. After a hell of 20 bullets, she took a couple to the body. Those murderers killed her dreams when those bullets riddled that bed. How long do we have to wait for justice for this black queen? Black lives matter. Now, white America, do you see what we mean? Unarmed teenager killed by a cop because he was accused of shoplifting. This officer was trained in martial arts and you use your gun because of a little resistance? Killed this young king in cold blood whose beliefs once got him suspended from the Boys in Blue Brotherhood. Posting Nazi symbols and violent remarks online, Mr. Rankin, you finally got to get that hatred out your heart, huh? But I guess this was in real time. This is what the police have been breeding across the nation. It's about time the whole world see what we've been facing. Killed in broad daylight as there's clearly no evidence of a gun. Rather shot dead because he turned on the car during the traffic stop and decided to run? Now don't tell me that your life was in danger because he tried to run you over. Mr. Officer, you stood on the side of that car and you could have led chase if you would have just got your out of shape behind back to your wannabe cop Range Rover. But nah, your first instinct is to draw the weapon. Doesn't matter the issue. You see, America, this country is not burning over one killing. There's an epidemic going on with police brutality against blacks. While y'all out there doing y'all political campaigning, why don't y'all debate over some real issues? oh man, what should I say? Killed over allegedly selling some damn cigarettes during the middle of the day. This man told officers he couldn't breathe, and the hold, it got tighter. 5 years later, after the killing, and our justice is this officer is just getting fired? Severed this young man's spinal cord, resulting in death, but cover it up in medical reports. Now it's your word versus his, but he can't speak because y'all done sped up the process of him taking his final breath. My brother, the fall latest of victims of police brutality, got choked out with a knee in his neck for all of America to see. Over 8.5 minutes, this coward had his knee on his neck. All officers involved need to be charged. And catch this, they better be convicted or I guarantee America won't ever come back. Shot by an insurance agent moonlighting as a volunteer cop. Now, who hires civilians to help with policing and actually allows them to operate with a gun? As a police chief, I know I will not. But check this, for mistakenly, as he says, killing an unarmed black man and you're not even a cop. This 76-year-old white man served half of a 4-year sentence. But Bill Cosby, you know what? Let's stick to the topic. Let's not. Gunned down in the driver's seat and a hell of bullets aimed at a boyfriend. Over 30 bullets sprayed toward him with their 4-month-old baby in the backseat. Is this the new trend? Since when is protection of innocent life thrown out the door? Let them bullets fly. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let them bullets rain some more. Another one of our young kings gunned down by the hands of law enforcement. Now this one was utterly ridiculous because she entered into his damn apartment. Bam! One shot to the head because you thought he was the intruder. You started this Karen movement against blacks, but rather than a cell phone, you became the jury, judge, and executioner. Another black man murdered. this time in his driveway in broad daylight over mistaken identity and failure to comply. U.S. Marshals falsely accused this young king of being armed and dangerous, killed this father of three on New Year's Eve with a cell phone in his hand in our driveway. Y'all are now taking our lives? Rolled up on him and within seconds screaming he's got a gun, let off 8 shots, and as he lay there lying in a pool of his own blood, rather than render medical aid, y'all loose a dog on him. Did y'all still think he was dangerous, or did y'all just do that for fun? Gunned down while walking in the middle of the street. 16 times one officer fired his weapon because he was acting erratically. You mean to tell me you could have put him down by shooting him in the feet? But I'm not in your shoes, so I don't know how much of a threat he was. But dash cam video shows that you kept firing after he hit that floor. Then 15 months later, they find that 16 of you all were involved in the cover up, but 7 years is all you got for taking away this mother's love? Man, this one hurt me to my core. Shot down and yet again broad daylight because an officer said Mr. Brown reached for his weapon as he sat in his car protected by his door. Fired several shots as he attempted to get away. What threat was he to you after getting hit a couple of times? He threw up his hands as a sign, Mr. Officer, that's enough, okay. But the worst part is, y'all left his body out there for the entire community to see, allowing potential evidence to go away in that dry summer heat. Shot dead by yet another officer with multiple complaints. Cops got called because of a fight. Don't know who it is, but see a black man and pull him off the train. Take that, nigga. A punch to the head. How you like that, boy? A knee to the back. But for y'all two, that wasn't enough. Pull out the strap and ended his life like that. And this excuse that y'all think y'all were drawing y'all taser, but y'all made a mistake. But we pay with our lives. Black lives matter now, not after our lives are taken. That's far too late. His killing was done by an officer in what seems to be a corrupt police department. Y'all have failed to do a proper background check on this officer. Who should Black America logic a plate with, Mr. President? The police sergeant? 2.5 years later, this officer loses his job. It's 2.5 years later and 1 day too late because within 2 seconds, this poorly trained officer who should have never been hired in the first place decided this young king's fate. Check this, over a pellet gun, where the miscommunication came from dispatch through relay, where the initial caller told y'all a couple of times it was a young boy and the gun was probably fake. But nah, y'all pull up guns blazing. Maybe this is a stupid question, but why y'all pull up so close anyway? Probably not, because DOJ investigation concluded that y'all use poor and dangerous tactics that put y'all in situations where it's your life or theirs, so who y'all think gonna pay? Followed because he was in the wrong skin color. Killed by a wannabe officer because he couldn't take a beating from a young brother. Then gonna try to jump behind the stand your ground law and say it was self-defense. Who gave you the right to follow this young brother in the first place? You made the situation tense. Shot 5 times, 3 in the back, because he was a threat to you, Mr. Slager? Only to find out that that was a lie. You filed a false report later. Didn't know a cell phone was recording you, huh, Mr. Slager? Clearly shows you placing the taser next to a bullet-riddled body that you didn't even bother to check for a pulse from the first gunshot to 3 minutes later? But you got convicted as you pled guilty. But to the black man in blue seen in the video, I got a question. Who trained you to? Never once bothered to help the brother, just left him to die. Gonna lie on the same report saying you tried to render medical aid upon arrival. Where's Moby Porridge at when we need him? Because video clearly shows that was a lie. Now, I didn't go down the list of 26 names, Mr. President, but you and America knows there's a lot more. So I'll let y'all marinate on this list while I go write part 2. Let me go check the internet. I know there's going to be a lot more. Black lives matter.